The Vampire Diaries Season 8, Episode 14. It's been a hell of a ride. Of course, we're going into the last two episodes for this series, which is really crazy to think all this time. But this was a good episode. I mean, it certainly didn't end at all the way I was expecting. I didn't know what to expect in this episode because there were so many ideas going through my head like, okay, well, if we have Elena come back to life, does that mean that Bonnie has to die? Does it mean that they broke this spell? That's what I was thinking. I was like, alright, well, Kai's gonna... I thought, honestly, I was like, alright, they killed Cade, which really blew my mind. Damon died, but he does end up coming back to life because they killed Cade and it sent his soul, I guess, back to his body. So he's fine. Stefan's fine. Bonnie's fine. She doesn't end up dying trying to fight to save Damon. So everything works out in this episode. Although Alaric totally abandoned the plan, I thought that was really funny how that happened. I was like, he couldn't have given that like two more shots. I mean, I know he had his secret tunnel thing, which I forgot about until I saw him in the tunnel. So I was like, there's no way he could have made it there anyway. He could have just called Matt and it would have been the exact same thing. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about the tunnel. So it made sense. Which he still technically could have had someone else do that, and he could have, rung the bell for like one more time, I guess, one or two more times, and they would have killed Cade. But ultimately, things have to be tense, so television. But he ends up going to save his daughters and everything. But they kill Cade. They actually capture Kai in this episode. I thought for sure, even though they knocked him out, I was like, well, he's still alive, so he has to be like the final villain, right? That's all I thought. I was like, well, he's still alive, so I never would have thought Kai would have been the final villain in the series. And that doesn't end up being the case. They kill Cade, seemingly they destroy Hell, which seemed to be the plan. Kai says that, but that was a part of his lie, where he makes a bet, and we find out that he was actually working with Katherine the whole time to get rid of Cade so that she could take over, and that was kind of his extra deal. So he already made a deal with Cade, but it was like, let's see how this stuff plays out. You guys, take out Cade. Katherine ends up taking over. So that I just didn't expect. Like, the way everything just ended. Like, the last 15 minutes of the episode was just really, really freaking crazy. We have, of course, Kai getting his powers back because there's literally magic within the walls. So he gets his abilities back. He takes out Caroline for a moment. He goes to kill the girls, and Alaric has to come in. He beats him. Unfortunately, he didn't get to kill him because they kind of reference it. Like I said, for Bonnie being able to kill Cade, which I still wish was the case. So sadly, that didn't end up happening. But Stefan is the one that does that. Alaric is totally right. Like, he should have been the one to, officially kill Kai. But he's still there. So I don't know if they are going to use him to break the spell or, what's going to happen. I mean, we only got 2 episodes left. So either they're going to find a way to make some sort of crazy deal with him where he does break that spell and that's how Elena wakes up, or something crazy is going to happen and Bonnie does die. And I thought if Bonnie did die, then that would be a way for her to be with Enzo forever, because they'd both be dead. But I still thought that sucked, because I was like, I don't want her to die. So, still mysteries in my head. I'm like, I still don't know how this is supposed to play out and how she ends up waking up, unless Katherine takes over her body or something like that. I don't know, but based on the promos that they have, like when Elena wakes up and she's like, how am I here and stuff, I would assume that is actually Elena and not Katherine taking over her body. So who knows? It's still really impossible to tell how this is supposed to work unless, I mean, the only other thing, there are 2 options. Either Bonnie dies and that's how Elena wakes up, or Kai breaks the spell. And of course, at this point, for the final episode, we only see 3 characters, and it's Elena, Stefan, and Damon. So who knows how else things are going to play out in this next episode. But I certainly love the way this one was working out, and it was just chaotic. I mean, we have the girls losing control of their powers, which leads to Alaric deciding that he would kind of make a school for young witches and stuff like that, which I thought was pretty cool. Stefan decides that he will, he does actually want to be with Caroline, so he asks her to actually marry him. Of course, they kill off Cade. They trap Kai. Katherine takes over Hell, which still don't know exactly what that means. I mean, I would assume with her taking over, that means she can jump back and forth with this lack of psychic dimension stuff. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, the reason Cade could do it is because of the bell, and that's also how Kai got out But if Catherine's taking over, does that mean she just has complete control of it? Does that give her more power? Now that, especially since Cade's gone, it was like his psychic connection is what was forcing everyone to stay in one location, like stay in hell or, be on Earth. So does she like gain that ability now that he's gone and stuff? There are so many questions I have as to how this is supposed to work with her having control of it. Did she just escape already and she was kind of in hiding waiting for this plan to work out, which would make a ton of sense actually. But Katherine is the final villain, so I was super happy that they did it that way. Like, there's no better way to go full circle than to have Katherine come back as the final villain, which really surprised me because I thought for sure, even though they caught him, I'm like, it's gonna be Kai because he's alive. Who else would it be? But Katherine comes back into play. I'm sure somehow they'll be able to get Kai out of there, or she'll be able to do it somehow. But I'm very excited for these last two episodes, of course. Sad to see the show go. I'm probably going to say that next week as well. But this is a really good episode. I couldn't believe they killed Kai, or killed Cade, 2 episodes before. I really thought that they would kill him in the next episode, and then it would go into the series finale where there weren't even any villains. Because I'm curious how that's going to play out. Like, is Katherine still going to be there in the finale episode? Or, because of course it has to have, like, the happy definitive ending and the characters go off to live their lives and stuff. So I was curious if the last episode was going to be like everything was already said and done and it's just Elena's back and they just deal with how to move on, or will there be fighting within the final episode as well, and then the second half of the final episode is where they do the happy wrap up and everything. So who knows? It's Katherine. She'll probably survive until the final episode and then they kill her off and then Elena's back. But still excited for what we're going to be getting next week with the wedding and, throwing all that happiness in Catherine's face, and that's supposed to draw her out and stuff. So looking forward to that. Of course, would love to know what you guys thought about this episode, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, least favorite parts. And I definitely want to know how you guys feel about them bringing Katherine back as the final villain of the series. I think it makes perfect sense. Like I said, I just assumed that it was going to be Kai, because he came back. I was like, wow, I didn't think he'd come back. Of course, he ends up being a villain because he, like, steals Elena and all that stuff. So I just assumed they would have, they got rid of Cade, but Kai was still alive. Somehow he'd escape, but they locked him in the prison world, which I was glad, that was the one thing. Bonnie didn't get to kill Cade, but she got to put Kai back, and I thought that was good. I mean, it still leaves Alaric with something that he should have had, which, I feel like they both kind of got cheated a little bit, because I feel like he should have been able to take him out, and then she should have been able to take out Cade. But I'm sure Alaric will get something, and plus he, going into starting a school for witches, that should be very interesting. I'm curious if they're going to do a time skip for the final episode. I think I mentioned that before, but if they'll do something like that, that would be cool to see. But very excited. Last 2 episodes really sucks, but also really cool. But like I said, would love to know how you guys think things are going to play out in the next episode. What you guys think about them bringing back Katherine as the final villain. And of course, I want to know what you guys thought about this episode in general. So please comment below, let me know. And thanks for watching.